Hello friends, welcome to yoga. It looks like things are up and running on YouTube and Instagram. Hey Asher, nice to see you. I'm seeing some more friends on YouTube. I'm not sure who you are because YouTube doesn't let me see, but I assume that you're friends. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm super excited to get started moving a little bit. Hi Tatiana. It's giving me a little message here. Oh, nice. Yeah, super excited to move a little bit today. I did Nikki's Hit and Flow class over Zoom last night, so my body is super ready to get some stretching in. Hopefully yours is too. That's kind of going to be our focus today, really stretching things out, soaking up some really stretchy goodness before we head into the weekend, and hopefully you guys are getting outside in some kind of safe way this weekend, even if it's just in your backyard or sitting on a balcony or a porch or taking a walk around your neighborhood. We'll just get things kind of juiced up, loosened up, and ready to go before then. I don't think there was anything else that I need to say before we begin. We'll be getting into the hips a little bit, doing a little bit of hamstring work. And when you're ready to get started, we'll begin in a child's pose on your mat. So no rush getting there. Seeing even more friends joining us here. Nice to have everybody. Finding that child's pose on your mat on your own time. And this is a great moment if you want to start listening to music on your end to press play whatever playlist you're listening to. The Flex and Flow newsletter has tons of great options every week. So you can always head over to the newsletter to kind of explore what teacher playlists are put together. And for this first child's pose, your choice, you can take knees together or knees wide. Knees together is going to put the stretch more into your lower back, and knees wide is going to take the stretch more into your hips. So I'll leave that one up to you. Just starting off first, maybe you try both ways and just see what feels best in your body. Bringing your chest as low as you want to get it. Again, you can stretch your hands forward in space, or if you'd like, you can definitely rest back down by your hips. And from here, we're just going to pause for a moment, breathing. Letting our body release onto the mat. Slowly settling down. Find a little ease here, particularly if you've already been sort of working today or have some other things going on in our brain. Just melting all the way down, letting the force of gravity kind of work its magic on you. And each exhale, letting yourself sink a little bit deeper. Each inhale, sending that breath deep into any parts of the body that need a little extra kind of lubrication or a little extra love and nourishment right now. So we'll find one more breath just like this. You can maybe gently rock your head side to side on the mat, massaging the third eye point, right between and about an inch above the eyebrows. Rocking back and forth here. We'll take the head back through center, and then from your child's pose, we're going to have you walk all the way up to a seat, sitting back on your heels. We're going to take a little hero's pose here for a moment. So a couple of things about hero's pose. You can get into it a bunch of different ways. It's going to end up being kind of a big stretch across the front of the thighs, but it can be really intense in the knees. So if you feel any tension in the knees, if you feel any strange tightness happening there, definitely ease out of this posture and make it sustainable for your body. So one great way to make it sustainable, if you've got a pillow, if you've got a block on hand, is to bring a block underneath your sit bones. And a block underneath your sit bones, sitting back on your heels, knees pointing forward. This is going to be kind of the most accessible spot to start hero's pose. This is hero's pose. A couple of different ways to make it a little bit deeper. First, from here, you can come up. Use your hands to roll the muscle of your calves out of the way so that you can come all the way down, and this one can sit down between your heels. And your heels are pulling in towards your hips here. this shape, or from that more upward variation where you're really sitting on top of your heels. Either one, you can bring the hands behind the hips, point the palms back towards the toes, and then gently begin to walk your hands back, maybe even coming down onto the floor and lifting the chest up towards the sky. Oh, this feels like a huge abdominal stretch for me right now, as well as a big top of the thigh stretch. So whichever variation is going to work for you. If you're in this pose where you, or in this variation where you have your sit bones all the way down on the mat, you might even be able to come all the way down and rest your whole spine on the mat. So it's up to you. I'll let you play around for a moment here. You can bring hands up and overhead. You can leave hands down by the hips. But find a sustainable spot. Remember, this is your body, your practice. We're just starting to stretch it out here, beginning with a little yin stretch before we head into some more flowy flow. So take 2 more rounds of breath here, letting your body settle into the posture. Making sure that we're not crunching in the low back. If there's any of that happening here, you'll just lift up to the next level. Maybe that's forearms, maybe that's putting back up to the seat. Come on your last round of breath. We'll ground out to the forearms or the elbows. If you were lower, then lift yourself all the way up to a seat. Hands come to plant underneath the shoulders and find yourself in a tabletop pose, bringing your knees underneath your hips. We'll take 3 rounds of cat-cow here, beginning first by arching the spine, in that little back bend, bringing the gaze turned towards the back of the mat. This is a big exhale, and then on an inhale, we'll tuck that pelvic bone up towards the side, stretch the chest through the biceps, and gaze ever so slightly up. 2 more rounds just like that. This movement is initiating right at the very base of your tailbone here. That tailbone sensation curving down, and then curving back up. Matching this movement to your breath. We've just got 1 more round. And then we'll take it back to a neutral spine. Lower belly is riding up and in. Hands are planted, shoulders over wrists. Inhale here. On the exhale, left hand will reach up and overhead, and then we're going to thread the needle, left hand reaching underneath your right arm, right fingers walking forward and spacing, rolling the chest up and open towards the ceiling. Ground down through the shins here, so I often feel my shins trying to kind of lift up and off the mat. You're going to want to press them into the earth, as well as pressing down through both palms on the mat in order to kind of lift up and rather than forearm onto that side body. Take 1 more big breath. Walk that right hand in, planted by your face, and sweep your left fingers up and overhead. From here, hold your left fingers up and overhead. We're going to extend your left foot back in space, and then rotate that right knee behind, or that right heel behind you, coming up into a little modified knee pose. Reach your left fingers up and overhead, and then bend at the elbow and peel your elbow back towards your left hip, stretching the fingers wide. Twice more. Inhale, left fingers reach up and overhead. Exhale, peel it back. Inhale, left fingers up and overhead. Exhale, peel it back. Inhale, reach those left fingers up and overhead. Then I'll sweep this way so that you can see. We're going to sweep the left fingers forward in space as we come all the way back down to sit on that back heel, but keep your left leg extended out. So we're in this modified child's pose. Fingers walk forward in space, head releases down towards the ground. Nice big breath. If you want a little bit more, you can always tend through the fingertips, activating and the shoulders and the elbows. Find a full round of breath. 1 more big inhale. On the exhale, and I'll switch back to my original orientation. We're going to walk up to a seat. Both hands plant on the mat. Rotate that right shin back in, and then extend the left. Keep the left leg hovering towards the back of the group. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, we're going to walk your right fingers forward and space and flip them up towards your right ear. Reach everything along the opposite directions and drag that right knee in towards your left elbow. Inhale, reach everything long. Exhale, drag it in. Twice more, inhale to lengthen. Exhale, drag it in. Last time, inhale to lengthen. Keep that left foot hovering, right hand comes down to the mat, tuck the right toes, and then float up into your three-legged dog. From here, bend the knee and stack the foot, squeezing that left heel in towards your seat. Square off the shoulders, maybe even taking a look at the space between your hands, checking that your middle fingers are pointed forward in space. Inhale here. Squeeze that left knee towards your nose and melt into your pigeon pose. Walk your right toes back in space, giving a little bit of extra room for the top of your right thigh to come onto the mat. We'll settle in, flex through that left foot, lengthen out through the torso and square the hips forward. Take a breath. Gently begin to walk yourself forward, coming down into your reclined pigeon if this is accessible. Maybe coming down on the forearms, maybe you stay to lift it up on the palms, maybe you bring that chest all the way from that. Wherever you are, you can breathe down the breath, trying to soothe the nervous system, allow it to settle in. These deeper postures can kind of initiate that fight or flight response because it is stress on the body, even if it's good stress. So we just use the breath to help calm and soothe. Take one more round. Walk the hands back in underneath your shoulders. Tuck the back toes and we're going to float all the way back up to that three-legged dog, and then both feet come back to the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, come up high to the tiptoes and bring your knees back to the earth. This time, the right finger is going to reach up and overhead, and then we'll thread the needle on the other side. Left, or reach underneath your left palm. Left palm can walk forward, and again, we'll rotate the palms down so that we can press up and out, rotating the chest towards the ceiling. Grab down through the shins, lift up a little higher. Exhale, left hand cancel, reach the right fingers up and overhead, and then extend your right foot towards the back of your mat as you rotate that left shin up. Find this big gate pose, reach your right hand up and overhead, and then bend at the elbow, pulling it back towards your head. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale to bend. Twice more, just like that. Breathing into the movement. Last one, we'll hold up and overhead. Sweep the right fingers forward in space and come all the way down into this nice little modified version of your child's pose. Keep that right leg extended, kind of crawling forward your little foot. Take a big breath. Again, you can tend through the fingertips if you want to activate the shoulders and the elbows. We'll get a little bit of a deeper stretch into the shoulders here. Take one more breath. Walk the hands back in, coming back to sit on that heel. And then hands are now planted at the top of the mat. And we're going to just square everything back towards the front of the mat, or the front of the room, whatever situation, orientation you've got going on. Lift that right foot up to hips height, and then walk your left fingers forward in space. Balancing here, grounding down through that rooted shin and your right palm in order to lift and lengthen. And then drag knees to your elbow. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, knee to elbow. Twice more. Move in with the breath. Finding that rhythm. We'll meet with everything extended long. Keep the right leg lifted as the left palm plants. And then we're going to float up, find your three-legged dog. From three-legged dog, bend the knee and stack the hips, but square the shoulders forward. Pressing a little bit more firmly into that right palm in order to lengthen out the left side. It's a little counterintuitive, but that's how we do it. The right palm presses down, the left side lengthens. Squeeze that down a little tighter, and then take your knee into your nose and lightly melt into your pigeon pose. Walking the toes a little bit farther back in space, flexing through that front foot, lifting and lengthening. If this half pigeon is just too deep for your body right now, you can always skip it. You can also always find a reclined pigeon on your mat or drop a drop underneath your right hip. Happens to be a blanket or a pillow or a block. Lift and lengthen the spine, and as gently as you can walk your fingers forward. Maybe you come down onto forearms. Maybe you bring your chest all the way to the mat. Settle down and breathe. Take one more full round of breath. We're going to plant through the palms, walk hands underneath shoulders. Tuck the back toes, and we're flipping right out to a three-legged dog. Right toes to the sky, and then both feet come back to the mat. From your downward facing dog, inhale the tiptoes, exhale, both knees come down to the mat. This time, plant through the palms. We're going to bend at the elbows and keep the hips high as we lower the chest all the way to the mat. Elbows squeeze in. Inhale, pull your chest up and through, find your baby cobra. Exhale, forehead down, tuck the toes, and come through tabletop to find downward facing dog. Arrive in downward facing. Maybe taking this moment to walk out your dog. We'll be here for 3 breaths, bending into one knee and then the other. You can wiggle the hips back and forth in the space. Whatever little modifications or variations you need to fully arrive at the posture, feel free to take them. Maybe just clean off your mat while the accumulated dust. That happens when you're practicing yoga at home, not in a nice clean studio. On your next inhale, we're going to come high up onto your tiptoes. Look at the space between your hands, and this time we're going to step our way up to the top of our mat. You can take 2 big steps, take a bunch of little steps, whatever is going to work for you right now. We're tracking this with people in the upper body, hang heavy. You take a nice generous bend in the knees. Bring opposite hands to opposite elbows. Listen gently, rock out the upper body, swinging those elbows side to side, shifting the weight into one foot and then the other. If there's any tension still lingering in the back of your neck here, you can try nodding your head yes, and shaking your head no. We'll bring the elbows back to the center, grab them through the soles of the feet and release the hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway, draw the crown of the head forward. Exhale, and fold. Inhale, hands sweep high, coming all the way up overhead. Exhale, hands are going to pull into prayer, bring them into your heart space. I'll orient forward for a moment. Inhale, hands are going to sweep up and overhead. Exhale, left fingers wrap around your right wrist, and we're going to shift the fingertips towards the left as we shift the hips to the right. So you're creating a little banana shape with your body. Inhale, sweep up to the center. Exhale, switch the grip, and then shift to the other side. Take a big breath. Inhale takes you up through center. Exhale, flat back fold all the way down to your toes. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, and fold. From here, generous bend in your knees. Left hand will plant underneath your face and then straighten through the right leg as our right hand extends, twisting open to the right side. Inhale here, exhale, both hands come back to the mat. Right knee bends, left fingers reach. Take a breath. Come back through center. We're going to switch back to the first side. And from here, bring that left hand inside your right foot and just gently step your left foot all the way to the back of the mat. So you find yourself in your simple twist. Right fingers reach high. And then let's take them to our hips and just gently use that hand to help level off our hips. Dropping the right hip down and pulling the left hip up so that they're nice and square towards the front of the room as well as level to the mat underneath you. Inhale here. Exhale, drop that back knee. Squeeze your back heel in towards your seat and reach your right hand towards it. Maybe you have the bind here. Your hand might meet the top of your back foot and you can press your back foot into your hand to help open up the muscle of the chest. Or maybe you're reaching in that direction. Either way is totally fine. So take a full round of breath. Pausing for a moment here. And then release that bind inside of your right foot. You can heel to that right foot out if you need the space. You're in a little lizard lunge. Tuck the back toes and float the back knee, finding yourself in an active lizard. And then begin to straighten through that front leg. Finding two straighter legs, extending long through the front body. Your heart space is reaching forward and down. Rebend in the front knee, dip the hips low, but keep that back knee lifted and feel the heart through the hands. And find those two straighter legs again. Full breath. Dip the hips low, feel the heart forward. And then bring hips up to knees height, finding your active lizard, and rotate your back heel down. Open up for extended side angle. So this might look just like I have right here with my right hand inside my right foot. It could also mean that your right elbow is coming to the top of your knee. What's most important is that you're creating a nice, long, extended line with the left side body. Hand can reach up and overhead, or maybe it comes all the way to the front of the room. Take a breath. And then we're going to bring that hand, that top hand down to your back thigh, straighten the front leg as your right fingers reach up and overhead. Inhale here. Exhale, both hands spin down to the mat, and you bring them to the inside of your right foot. Heel that back heel up and off, and we're going to step back to a high plank. In your high plank, inhale. Exhale, elbows in tight below or all the way to the belly. Inhale here, exhale, hands will plank on either side of the rib cage. Ground down to the tops of the feet and the shins. Lift up for a baby cobra, so your elbows are still bent, but your heart is peeling forward. Exhale, forehead back to the mat. Move through a tabletop pose as you find downward facing dog. Moving with the breath. Matching the movement. Inhale, come up onto your tiptoes. Look at the space between your hands as you bend your knees. Bottom of your next exhale is going to take you all the way to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale. Inhale, hands sweep up and overhead. Palms come to meet. Exhale, hands are going to pull into prayer. Inhale, palms sweep up and overhead. Exhale, flat back, fold all the way down to your toes. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, right knee bends, left fingers reach. Both hands come back and we'll switch to the right side. And then take it back to that first side, left fingers high. Right hand is going to come to plant on the inside of the left foot here. Full palm on the mat if you can get it there. Fingers also bent. And then bend into both knees and step your right knee to the back of the mat. So you're in a simple twist. From here, bring your top hand to your hips. Use that top hand to gently level off your hips. Activate ever so slightly the low belly and your end. Gently draw your back knee and squeeze that heel in towards your glutes. Maybe finding that button, maybe reaching towards it. Your front is in a nice and 90-degree angle here. You can see I'm kind of wiggling my foot a little bit farther out to give myself some more space. Right hand is planted underneath your right shoulder. We don't want to be falling onto our right shoulder. We want to be lifting up and off. Take one more breath, gazing up towards the ceiling. Exhale those hands to the inside of your left knee. And heel to that foot out if you need a little bit more space in your lizard. We'll tuck the back toes and float that back knee. Gently begin to straighten the front leg. Reaching your heart space down towards the mat, hips up towards the sky. And then re-bend, dipping your hips low and pulling your heart forward. Twice more, two straighter legs. Pressing that left hip back in space. And then re-bend. Last time, two straighter legs. Then re-bend in that front knee. Find your extended side angle. So you're spinning that back heel down first and then opening up into your variation. Right hand coming up and overhead. That left hand can stay planted or bring the elbow to the knee. From here, we're just gently going to come all the way up, straightening the front leg, back hand coming down your back thigh as we extend into a reverse triangle pose. If, like me, your tendency is for that right hip to kind of want to spin towards the front of the room, we're bringing both hips to open up towards the long side of your mat. So You don't want this happening. We're heeling it up and open. And from there, reaching that left hand high. Imagining that the whole body could fit between two panes of glass. Inhale here. Exhale, both hands are going to spin back to the inside of that left foot. We're refinding this active lizard and then step into a high plank. From high plank, elbows bend, lower all the way to the belly. Ground down through the palms, plant them firmly, and we'll lift up, pressing into shins and the top of feet, finding your up dog or baby cobra, and then head into downward facing. From downward facing, inhale, head to tiptoes. Take a nice deep bend in the knees. And this time we'll hop or step your way all the way up to a forward fold. Adding in that little hop if you want just a little extra movement there. From your forward fold, inhale, we lift the leg, exhale, let's fold all the way down. Inhale, hands are going to sweep up and overhead. Exhale, hands come into prayer. Let's ground down through the right foot. That left knee is going to squeeze up and into your arch chest. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. Then begin to bend the right knee, melting into our figure four. Your upper body is straight lifted here. Or if you want to get a little bit deeper, we'll bring prayer hands down towards your left shin. Even if you're dragging your hands down, we're not rounding here. We're pulling the back long, pulling the heart forward, and space gazes forward. Flexing through that top foot. Take a breath. If you'd like, maybe hands come all the way down to the mat. If you're bringing your hands down, you've got a nice downward bend in the knees. From here, we're going to reach back up into this lifted knee raise, and then gently step the left foot all the way to the back of the mat, finding your high crescent. Hands at prayer. Inhale here. Exhale, simple twist. Left hand plants, right fingers reach. Big breath here, gently drop the back knee and squeeze the back heel in. Find your little body. Rise up through that planted palm. Big inhale, release. Come into your lizard pose. Heel turning the foot out, lifting the back knee. Inhale here, exhale, two straight legs. Inhale, we dip the hips low, pull the heart forward. Exhale, two straight legs. Dip the hips low. Exhale, two straight legs. Last time, we'll dip the hips low, open up, find your extended side angle. From extended side angle this time, you are welcome to stay right here, or add on by finding either a half bind with that left hand putting around your back, maybe wrapping onto your thigh, or full bind. That right hand will reach underneath your right leg, left fingers come around to meet it. If you've got that bind, try not to lift your hip up high over the space, but keep pressing that hip down low, opening up across the chest. Take a full round back. Release the bind. If you have it, we'll find reverse triangle. Right fingers reaching up and overhead, straightening through that back leg. Inhale here. Hold on the exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, we're going to find triangle pose. Right hand reaches down towards your right calf or your ankle, and left finger reaches up and overhead. We're going to take that top hand all the way to the front of the room and then belly at the elbow, gently pull your elbow back towards your head. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale to bend. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, bend. Last time, inhale, re-extend. Both hands come to the inside of that right knee bends. From here, we're going to step right foot back to meet left, find your high plank. From high plank, your choice. Lower to the belly or lower halfway, and take your body through a little Vinyasa sun salutation here. Lifting from halfway lower to your up dog, and then pressing it back to downward facing. As you arrive downward facing, your left foot will plant, your right heel is going to sweep up to 3 three-legged. Bend the knee and stack the hips. Keep squaring both shoulders forward, but start to take that knee in some big circles. So you're still squeezing your heel in towards your seat, but rotating through the hip joint. Take those circles first in one direction, and then when you're ready, we'll reverse the direction. Just switching the other way. Hi, more friends. Hi, Elise. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Autumn. Once you reverse to the direction, we're going to re-extend your right foot. Level up the hips again, and shift forward into a three-legged plank. Reach your right toes back in space. Squeeze the belly button up to your core. Drag that knee into your chest, and then find your half pigeon. Tuck back toes and shift them back in space. Got a lot of nice juicy hips. Okay. Square your hips forward in space, squaring the shoulders forward. We'll lift and lengthen, and then gently begin to fold down if that feels accessible. Again, coming down the forearms, maybe bringing the chest and the forehead to the mat. 2 full rounds of breath here. Choosing your fire. Settling in, using the breath to calm that flight or fight response. After you finish 2 full rounds of breath, you're going to walk the hands back and underneath your shoulders. Tuck the back toes, squeeze your right knee into your chest and lightly step it through. Step that left foot up to meet your right foot forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll fold back down to your toes. Inhale, hands are going to sweep up overhead. Exhale, hands come into prayer. Left foot is going to ground down, right knee squeezes up into your chest. And let's cross the right ankle over the left knee and melt into your figure 4. Hands on prayer can stay up at the chest, or melt the chest all the way down to meet the shins. If it doesn't reach all the way, that's fine. You might still that to deepen the stretch in your hips. Flexing into that right foot, option to stay or option to release your hands all the way to the mat. Doing so as long as you can still lengthen through the back and press the chest forward. Space. Gaze is going to be just a couple feet in front of your mat. Inhale here, exhale, we're going to come all the way back up to your standing tiny raise. Right knee into your chest. Step your toes to the back of the mat. Find your highest lift and again. And then melt into a simple twist. Right hand to the inside of that left foot. Left hand reaches high. Drop your back knee, take a bind, squeezing your right heel this time in towards your seat. Melt the hips low, spin the chest up and open. Take a big breath. Release the bind, bring both hands to the inside of your left foot, and find your active closer. Maybe you can walk those left toes out. Inhale here, exhale, twist your legs. Inhale, melt it down. Exhale, twist your legs. Inhale, melt it down. Exhale, twist your legs. Last time, inhale, we melt it down. Pausing here for a moment, we'll rotate that back heel down, and your choice, your variation will lift up and open into extended side angle. Again, hand can stay on the mat, or hand or elbow can come to knee. Wherever you are, we're creating this beautiful long line on the right side body. From here, stay, or take that half bind. Top hand comes around to the top of your left thigh. Option to stay there or add the full bind. The left hand coming underneath your thigh, reaching underneath, or reach onto your right fingers. You can see it's really natural to start to pop that right hip up. And we just want to gently coax it back down. It's going to create a big deep opening in the inner thigh. Rotate the chest up towards the ceiling. Take a full round of breath. Release the bind. And stretch up into your revolved triangle. Left finger is reaching to the thigh, right hand down that back leg. Again, spinning your hips up and open. Big inhale. Exhale takes you up through center. Find your triangle pose. The left hand reaching down, right finger is reaching up. From right finger, we're going to come all the way up and overhead. And then bend the elbow, squeeze the elbow back in towards your head. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, elbow into the head. Twice more, inhale, lengthen. Lubricating through that shoulder joint, last one. We'll squeeze it back in. Lengthen out, and then both hands are going to spin to the inside of your left knee. Tucking the back toes, squaring everything towards the top of the mat. Step to high plank, your choice. Press right to downward facing. Take it through your Vinyasa variation. Breathing through. Finding the middle that works for you. From downward facing dog, left heel is going to lift the 3-legged, then we bend at the knee and stack the hips. Square the shoulders forward, and start with those big circles on the other side. Stirring out the hip joint. Waking up that sticky little point that can hold so much emotional baggage, and then reversing the direction when we're ready. We'll finish with our left knee reaching up towards the sky, and then squeeze your knee into your nose, lightly melt down into pigeon. I'm tucking the back toes and shifting them private back in space. Lift and lengthen, square the hips forward, flex the back front foot. From here, gently begin like short line. Again, you can always add the top underneath the hip. We'll be here for at least 2 full rounds of breath. Breathing in. Breathing out. Plant through the palms, we're going to walk ourselves back up, grounding down the palms, coming into a seat, and then tuck those back toes and squeeze your left knee into your chest. Lightly step the foot through and step the right foot up to meet it, finding a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, hold back down. Inhale, hands sweep overhead, come to stand. Exhale, hands point to prayer. Close down through the eyes for a moment, hands in at prayer, or bring one hand to your heart center and one hand to your belly. And bring the insoles of the feet together if it's comfortable, or keep feet hips distance. I want you from here to take 3 full rounds of breath. Inhale in the nose, and on your exhale, SH out the mouth. 2 more. Feeling the sensation of the breath radiating through the body. Feeling the warmth of the hands at these central points of heat. Last one. We'll release the hands down by the hips. Blink the eyes open. Inhale, hands are going to sweep up and overhead. On an exhale, right foot grounds down, left knee into your chest. Let's find that figure 4, crossing the ankle over the knee and melting hands down into the hip. You can hold if you want to, press the heart forward. And then come all the way up to stand right into your chest. And we're going to bring that left knee to your chest. We're going to bring your left ankle or heel in towards your glutes. And use your left hand to find a bind around your back. Right fingers can stay extended up and overhead. Squeezing that left heel in only as much as it's comfortable, not adding any tension onto the knee. You definitely don't want to hurt the knee here. It needs to be really fragile joints. Ooh, we'll lift back up. Reach both hands overhead, step back to your high crescent lunge. Inhale, high crescent, exhale, simple twist. Gently drop the back knee, and again, squeeze the left knee in, or the left heel in towards your glutes. Release that bind. Both hands are going to come forward to frame your front foot this time. And then we're going to tuck the back toes and step all the way up to 3-legged right foot to the side. Inhale here. Exhale, bend the knees back to the hips. Re-extend the leg, and then squeeze that right knee in towards your nose, and find pigeon on the right side. Dropping down onto that right hip, untucking the back toes. From here, two different challenge options. We are nicely warmed up for king pigeon, so if you'd like to give that a shot, you're going to squeeze that left heel in towards your glute, and you can find the bind at the top of your left hand, starting here. And this might be as far as you want to go. Flexing through that right foot, you still want to be squaring both hips forward in space. If you've got the space, maybe your right hand, let's see if I have it today, your right hand comes around to find the top of your toes. From here, square your shoulders back forward, hang on to the bottom of that right hand, and then use your hand to walk your left fingers back to meet it. Both shoulders and hips are squaring forward. Take a full round of breath. That's option one. Option two, you can go together and hang out in your pigeon pose. From pigeon or from king pigeon, we'll all release the king pigeon bind if you've got it. And then sweep your left leg around to stack on top of your right. Finding your Vinyasa pose. This is what it looks like from the front. Left knee is stacking over the right knee. Heels are squeezing in towards your glutes. If this is too much, you can always pop that neck off. Breathing here for a moment. Option to start to hinge at the hips, walk the hands forward, folding forward. Breathing through, just embracing these thigh stretches. Maybe you've got that king pigeon. Maybe you're really wanting to play around with that for a while, especially if you're. I just want an awesome pose that I can take a picture of on Instagram. King pigeon is always a great go-to, but don't hurt yourself getting there, please. Maybe you're wanting some really juicy hip stretches, and then you're half pigeon into your Vinyasa pose right here is going to feel really good. So from here, we're all going to walk back up to a seat. We'll extend the legs long, and then we're going to roll back into a little ball, taking a couple of rocks and rolls so that we can all meet up in a forward fold. Take your time, no rush. We're heading into that forward fold on your own time, bending at the knees. Turn opposite hands to opposite elbows. Let's just shake it out again. Rocking side to side. You want more of a shoulder stretch, and we're doing a lot of shoulder, a little bit of shoulder opening today, and I think pigeon definitely asks for it. You can bring the hands to clasp behind the low back, and then let them fall overhead. Breathing through here, pausing. Then we'll release the hands all the way back down to the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hands sweep up and overhead. Exhale, hands come into prayer. Left foot is going to ground down this time, right knee into your chest. And then find your figure four. Hands coming down towards the shin if you want to melt down a little bit deeper into it. Inhale here, exhale, we'll all meet back up in that same tiny raise. And then find this nice little thigh stretch. Bringing the heel in towards your glute, right hand coming around to find the bind. And we're dropping, we want that left knee to be pushing directly down towards the mat, and then lifting and lengthening up through the front body. Inhale here, exhale, release the bind, gently step all the way back to your high crescent. From high crescent, find your simple twist, right hand down, left hand up. And then take that bind and reach for it. Dropping the back knee, left fingers sweeping around to grab onto the right foot. Release that bind when you're ready. Both hands come to frame the front foot. We're going to tuck the back toes and sweep all the way up into your three-legged dog. Left toes to the side, right toes down. Bend the knees back the hips. Then squeeze that knee into your chest and lightly set it through. Not step it, but coming down into that half pigeon on the other side. Again, from here, you've got options. So rest here on your half pigeon. Go down into that recline variation if you want. Head right into Vinyasa if you want. Or if you're ready, you want to try this You can pivot on the other side and know that no two sides of the body are created equal. So it might feel a little funky. You can start with that right hand around the top of your right foot. Squaring the shoulders forward, squaring the hips forward. This is beautiful. One more. Bring the left hand around, find the big toe, maybe more toes if you've got them. We'll release that right hand. And this is how I get into it. I walk my hands back, down my forearm to find the bottom. Does not feel as good for me on that side as it does for the other side. So I'm going to lose it. Stay there as long as you want, or into it for as long as you want. Then we'll swing that right leg around. We're all coming into Gomukhasana pose. Right knee stacking over your left, heels driving towards your hips. Ground down through the seat. Lift and lengthen and stay. This is a big stretch. Or if you want more, walk it forward. Again, choosing your fire, choosing the amount of stress, because it is stress that you want to bring to your body today. Knowing that there are lots of good stresses that we can put on the body, stretches that help us grow and strengthen, but there are also going to be stresses that are not good for the body. And so you have to really tune in and listen to figure out which ones are good and which ones are just our ego, asking us to push ourselves a little farther, a little harder, or a little deeper. When you're ready, we'll walk back up to a seat. And that ego is part of the reason that I don't actually teach the intention a lot, because it can be one of those ones that you're like, it's so close, I just want to pull it in, I can do it. And it's an easy spot to hurt yourself, so don't worry, it's not there yet. We're going to uncross the legs when you're ready. Shake them out. And as gently as you can, we're just going to come all the way down to lie. Bring the spine down onto the mat. Knees pull into your chest. Actually, knees are going to point up towards the sky, soles of the feet on the mat. And let's start with the windshield wiper. Dropping your knees side to side. Maybe you roll the head back and forth as well, just rocking everything out. From there, bring the knees to point up towards the center, and then both knees come into our chest. Here we go. Knees are under your chest. We're going to bring both hands around the top of the right shin and extend the left leg long. Begin to cross that right shin over your left leg, coming into a little twist. It's okay if your knees doesn't come all the way to the mat. And gaze out over your right fingertips. Reaching your right fingers in that direction, gently extending your left leg down the mat. Take a full round of breath. Settling down. Find the ease in the body. Bringing back into the center. We'll bring that left hand as well, and then extend your right leg long. This time, the hands come to the top of that left knee, and you just cross it over your right leg. And shift your hips back in towards the center of your mat. That helps deepen the stretch for you. The important part is that both shoulder blades are still planted firmly on the mat. And the gaze, if you'd like, it can turn out over your left fingertips. You want to add a little bit more, right hand can come to the top of your left thigh. And again, tune to the breath, finding a little silence here, letting the breath kind of take over the mind, the body, letting it be the forefront of your focus. Bring that left knee up to the center, and then bring both knees into your chest. your hands to the outside edges of your feet, or wrap pointer finger, middle finger, and thumb on your big toe. Let's get into a happy baby here. Knees in towards your armpits, and we can just gently rock and roll side to side. That feels good. It's kind of a nice massage on the low back. But leave it if you don't need it. Another nice variation as well with your happy baby is to keep those heels down in towards your seat instead of lifting them back up towards the sky. That one kind of gets more on the inner thighs for me, a slightly different part of the inner thigh. So just play around, see what's feeling right in the body. Maybe you want to stretch out one leg and the other. Got a little hamstring stuck in today. Now when you're ready, both knees are going to come in towards your chest. We'll wrap the arms around the shins. And as gently as you can, start to extend the legs long, heels coming down towards the bottom of the mat. Hands come to rest down by the hips. Roll the shoulder blades under. Start to close down through the eyes. Find some quietness here. Starting to melt into your final resting pose of class. And then the focus on the breath. That pranayama. Peace, peace, peace. And then begin to deepen the breath by bringing the movement back to the body. Expanding the rib cage, expanding the belly. Bringing the breath deep into our muscles. Bringing it all the way down to your fingers and your toes. Unknit the eyebrows. Let the teeth fall away from each other. Start to wiggle the fingers and the toes, maybe roll out to wrists and ankles. You can rock your head side to side. And as gently as you can, we're going to work our way up to a comfortable seat. You can move through a seat pose on your side for a moment if you'd like, or head your way right up to a seat. Looks like Instagram had a moment of pause in Shavasana. Hopefully you guys are just resting. As much as whenever you're ready, we'll be working your way to a comfortable seat. Crossing at the ankles or the shins, or bringing your sits bones back to your heels if that's more comfortable. And then I just invite you to close with one final breath, hands coming into prayer. We'll take a big inhale through the nose and fill up every pocket of air in the body that you can find. So the belly, the mid-chest, the high chest, the rib cage, the back body, the shoulders, every pocket. Put yourself all the way to the top and hold at the top. Hold all of that air. Feel the fullness. On the exhale, open your mouth side out. Thank you all so much for joining me. What a treat, as always, to practice with you, even from afar. If you want a little bit more, we are doing yoga on Zoom now. Every 5:30 weekday classes on Zoom, as well as all of our Hit and Flow classes. So if you're a current member and you sign up on Zen Planner, which is our scheduling app, then you'll be able to access the link for classes there. If you're not a member yet, feel free to sign up for our digital membership, and there's a code for half off in an email from our newsletter that's in inboxes today, or I'm sure you could send a DM to our page and we would let you know more about that. So thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Lena. Such a treat to have both of you guys, and I hope everyone has a beautiful rest of your day. Lots of love.